Start right off with the first question, which is from Declan McLaughlin, upcomer. Your team has played a lot of rounds this tournament. Many games went to overtime or ended 13-10, 13-11. Did you guys feel any mental fatigue in this match or yesterday's?
I didn't feel any mental fatigue personally, but I'm not sure how my teammates feel. I don't think so though, because a lot of our online matches also tend to be longer, and I think I don't really think it was an effect on this tournament at all. No.
Next question is also from Declan. What are some lessons you've taken from this tournament in terms of being an IGL or just competing on the international stage?
I think the biggest takeaway is like just the little differences between the regions. Like pretty much most of the regions play the game relatively similarly, but it's just like the little like niche things that they do that bring them success. And I think that's probably one of the bigger takeaways we'll take from this event.
Next one is from Katrina Whale, upcomer. How has version 1 grown over this tournament? What are you the most proud of for your team?
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from this tournament is we showed we're pretty resilient. Like even with the stand-in, even with very little practice with the stand-in, like we showed that we can take the best teams in the world to close maps, even if we didn't manage to pull out a lot of them. I mean, we went 2-2 in series on the throughout the tournament, so I mean, you can't be too disappointed overall, but it does suck to get knocked out early. I mean, we were one round away from knocking or securing top 3 yesterday. It is what it is, though. I mean, someone's got to lose, and today that was us.
Next one is Jack Marsh. Did you reckon? Since you arrived in Iceland, you seem to have enjoyed every second. How would you describe your journey here as a whole and what it would do for the team in the future?
I definitely think the ability to play against international competition will benefit us in the long run, given that we've experienced, like, say we go to another international LAN, we have some repetitions against like the international styles, which I'm not saying it like is game changing, but I do think just the LAN experience in general is going to be pretty valuable in this game because the game is just completely different than anything I've played in the past.
Next one is from Cecilia Chochetti, Gamezo. Unfortunately, you concluded these masters with a high percentage of defeats in overtime. What were the problems you encountered during the last rounds of the matches you played, and how do you plan to overcome them?
I'm not completely sure what causes to falter in overtime here. I want to say some of it was lack of experience with our fifth, and I think Whippy is one of our more clutch players, I guess. I think Whippy is one of our more stable players, like calm and clutch and cool and collected. I think he's probably like the pillar of our team in that regard, and I think that we kind of relied on him to get here, and then not being here with him is kind of disappointing, obviously, especially because we lose all of our practice that we've had with him. But it is what it is. Jamie's played pretty good throughout the tournament, and there's nothing really to be sad about here.
All right, we now move on to the open session. Please use the raise your hand function. You want to ask something. Emery VLRGG.
So you guys as a team throughout this tournament were insanely good at 1vx clutches. Everyone on the team had at least 3 across this tournament, and the top 2 across all players in the tournament were Effie's with 12, Jammies with 6, and then everyone else. What was the secret to your guys' success when you were, down players or down to the 1v1?
I'm honestly have no clue. I think just we have people that have been. I think it's easier to clutch in our team because we don't really like put too much pressure on ourselves. Like we just, if we win the round, we win the round. If we lose the round, we just go next, and we don't really worry about it too much. Like and I think that alleviates some of the pressure that people feel in clutch scenarios, and maybe that's why. I don't think you can actually pinpoint it why someone is good at winning 1v1s, or like because sometimes maybe they'll just have a sick tournament for clutching, and other ones they won't be as well off. But I mean, I think that just like less stressful than our team environment's a lot less stressful than what a lot of my past teams have been, and I think that probably plays into the factor that we win a lot of clutch rounds.
Next to go is Yinsu.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Hi. You guys chose Ascent today on the second map. I don't think many people expected that, given how well your Haven has been. What was the decision behind that? And looking back, do you feel like maybe that was the wrong choice?
I don't know. I think our Ascent and our Haven, I think Haven's our best map, but I think that we should have taken Icebox, and our game plan was like, we'd rather play Ascent sec, because we we should have won Icebox, but I mean, we also should have beat Neutron yesterday. It is what it is. We just kind of played pretty poorly towards the end of the regulation. And then in overtime, they just played really well. But I think our mindset was, okay, we're going to win Icebox. We'll take because we'd rather take the coin flip on Ascent being map 2, where there's going to be, like, it's not our stronger map, but there's less pressure on us to win on our weaker map. And then if we got to Haven, it was our strongest map in map 3. But I mean, the cards didn't fall the way we wanted them to. And it's unlucky, I guess, because we definitely were in the favor to take Icebox.
Next to go is Digon.
So it's been highlighted that Jammies has stepped in for Whippy. What's the next step for reintegrating Whippy back to the roster, given the fact that this is one of the events that you play for when you're on a team?
I mean, nothing too extreme. We're just going to start playing the game again, start scrimming with Whippy. Nothing out of this, just normal prep.
Declan, you can go next.
Yeah, so you've been pretty vocal about leadership and kind of your mentality after losing yesterday and today online. What are you kind of telling the team after these losses specifically? Are you giving any kind of speeches or any pep talks, or is it just kind of going out and dealing with it themselves?
I mean, I think we all, like, I talked to them. I think me and our coach talked a little bit to, like, the entire team. It's like, we came in with a stand-in. People thought we were going to get dead last. I mean, we beat one of the best. I mean, we beat 2 of the strongest teams in the world. Obviously, they made it here, so they have to be some of the best teams in the world. We played the other teams that we lost to very, very close, and there's not much to be disappointed with, considering we came here with less than a week of practice with our new 5th, and he's never competed at a level like this before.
All right, that concludes the scrum for you today, Vanity. Thank you so much for
Okay.
joining.
Thank you. Thanks for the time.